Hello everyone, this is Mr. Visual with another video. In today's video, we're going to create an electrical plan, but this is going to be based on the understanding how to utilize the power of schedules to produce legend for these drawings. The electrical plan sometimes is called electrical drawing or a wiring diagram. It is a drawing that visually represents and describes the circuits and electrical systems. This consists of symbols and lines that showcase the electrical design of a project. It is basically the positions of all the electrical components. Without any further ado, let's jump straight onto it. But before we start, I will ask you to subscribe if you are new to this channel and hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. We create videos like this almost every week or almost every day if time allows us. For this demonstration, what we have here is the project with already electrical designs and the arrangement of all these components that assemble the electrical systems of this project. But what we're going to do is to create or place this thing in, or this drawing in the layouts. If you go to layouts, and then I already created electrical folder here, and then with electrical layout for this view. If you open it, it's empty, it's blank. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the view map and then drag and place that view here. And then make sure you crop unnecessary information for the drawings to fit, like so. And then I also stretch the edge from this side to there, and this side is also to this position, and then I'll move it to the layout. The scale here is 1:50. We're going to use scale that to, let's scale this drawing down so that it can fit well in this sheet. Go to the dialog settings of this drawing, and then if we change this to custom, I'm gonna use 1:60 for the sake of this demonstration, guys. 1:60, and then I guess it to fit accordingly. Move it this side. Okay, I think I'm happy with the way it sits. We have a problem here. The problem is all electrical components, they are represented in a black or monochrome color. So we're gonna go back to the settings of this drawing, and then under the appearance, change the pen sets to whatever colored pen sets. I'll choose this one, and then okay, to automatically change or the representation of the electrical components. Another thing that I want you to understand is how I created the graphic override for this view. If you go back, or maybe select this and then right click and then open source view. If you go to document and graphic overrides, you find out this is under electrical graphic override. Let's click the combination and see the settings. Under electrical, you see here I have, under the order of rules to be applied, I have the electrical model, which is the first rule, and then the see-through for the 3D visual representation. If you click on this one and then make sure it's been checked here, you see what the criteria of the selection is based on the classification and layers of this component. I have a layer which is lighting control. All these layers that represent electricals, and then I said it's not. That means the override style here, it will not affect the objects that are under these layers, or you can also use the classification to select this. So if you say is not, so it means the override styles that are represented here doesn't affect components that are under these layers. For example, if you look at the override styles here, the line type is this one, and then we have the line or marker text pen. I'm gonna use 6, and then the field type is 25%, and this affects all types of fields. And then fill foreground pen, I'll choose red because for the representation here the electricals. And then I make sure that the override pen color and the thickness. Yeah, that's basically it. The see-through, like I said, is the rule that I created for 3D visual as a surface. So if you check on the surface here, you see a see-through. It's a surface that I created for seeing through. If you check this on 3D, let's my Q, right click and show the selection in 3D, and you see how this see-through is being applied in the 3Ds. Yeah, let's wait, it takes time. Come on, man. I know you can do better than this. Come on. These machines performs the way they want. I don't know why it's taking time to convert this thing to 3D. Let me pause this thing once it's done, and then we'll be this is how the see-through surface is being applied. You can able to see all the components in 3D like this. It makes our life easier so that we can really interpret our design, our electrical design, in conjunction with how the building looks. It's very, very, very useful. Okay. Let's go back to our layout. So the next step is to create a legend for this. I think that's the most important part of this exercise, is to create legend that will represent exactly this the components in this design. So what are we going to do? We're going to use the schedule. We're going to schedule all these electrical components and then see how we can best use it as a legend. What I'm going to do, go to the project map, and then under schedules, right click, and then create a new schedule. I'm gonna copy this as well. I'm gonna copy this the lighting schedule ID or code. It's gonna be D50 and then 40.50, depending on the classification for your object. For the project, it depends. And then this, I'll call it legend. Okay, electrical legend. And then we need to select object that we're going to schedule here. We're going to do it here under criteria. So element type is going to be all types, or let's just use no, it's fine, let's leave it in all types. And then we're going to add another criteria to this will be based on, I'll use the classifications, then add. And then under classification, I'm going to select the class that I know for sure it's electrical class under D services, and then find electrical. I'll choose lighting control, add another one, and then I'll choose lighting. I'll choose lighting fixtures, and then there are other components under distribution, electrical blah blah, yeah, power distribution. And then make sure here you say all, and then even this one change to all. Then I think we're good to go. And then here under the fields, we need to create fields for our legend. So I'm going to add the first field as a 2D 2D symbol, 2D plan view that will represent the symbol of these components. And then add another one. I'll add the ID, element ID for this component. I'll add another field. Here I'll add the library part name, and then the last one I'll add quantity. No, before quantity, let's add the zone name. I'll add the zone name. Where is the relative zone? Here it is. Add, and then I'll add the quantity at the last. Then okay. Now we have everything in place. We can go to our schedule. Then hit OK. And then find under the schedule elements, find electrical or newly created schedule. Click on it. Here we have a work to do now to format this to suit our standard. I'll start first with the title. I'll change this to capital letters, electrical legend. And then under the text formatting settings, I'll change the font to Arial. I find it perform much better in terms of architectural drawings when you print. And then make sure it's on bold, and then I'll adjust double click on this margin to fit in your text. Then the next thing is to change this information to symbol. That's a good part of this interactive schedules. You can edit and format the column titles. And then element ID, I'll change just to ID, make sure it's bold. And then library part name, I'll change it to item, just for it to make sense to the end user or the reader of the story. And then bold, related zone name, change it to room. You can say room name or just room, and then make sure it's bold. Quantity, I'll exclude it to be QTY, and then also bold. Make sure this one is also bold. Yeah, and then double click on the margin to fit in your text. Like so. Perfect. And then do the same for the item field. And then also we can do fit in the ID. Perfect. We're good to go. The next problem to be solved is this lighting scale. For these ones, I can just drag manually. Or let's just use the same procedure. Double click on the margin to fit in. Also do to this one. I'll do to that one. Relatively everything. And then if some of these are repetitive, we can merge these items like these ones. If you click on the merge here, merge uniform items, to reduce the list of this item, and then that's where now the quantity section will do its part to make sure quantify everything. Yeah, spend your time and set this to the level you want. Now do the rest like so. Let's check everything is perfectly done. Now this is encroaching and then into another column. You can also double click on this margin to fit in. Perfect. And then if you want to check this, let's fit in the window. Fit in like so to see everything in one. Yeah, I think it makes sense now. It makes a lot of sense. The only thing left is the IDs, but I think that one will do it later after we've placed this into our layout. There's a problem here. Let's maybe double click. Perfect. Then I'll save it under the view map, under my reports. Save it. That's fine. Create. I'll drag it where it's supposed to, because it's D. D is under D section. Okay. Now let's place this thing to our layout. Go back to the layout book and then open our electrical ground floor layout, and then activate the view map so that you can drag and place your newly created legend for this. Make sure you position it nicely. Also, I have the title here. I'll get rid of this. I'll get rid of this title. So click on it and then go to settings dialog, under title, then check no title or get rid of the title, and then hit OK. And then the next thing is the representation of this. So we need to change the pen sets to suit our drawings colors or pen colors. So what I would do is to select these two and then go to settings, under size and appearance, then change this to whatever colored pen sets you have. I'll change to this one and then hit OK. So now everything is being represented the way it's supposed to be, like so. So like I said, the issue here is now the listing of this component. As you can see in the legend, what we need to know, we need to transfer this information here, the ID, the coding, to the plan so that it can be well referenced. And then the good part of having a legend like this one, any changes to the design here, it will be automatically updated to the legend, of which I see it is a powerful tool, a powerful feature in ArchiCAD that I feel we don't utilize it much. Schedules are powerful features for quantification and scheduling our components. This information can also be sent to spreadsheets like Excel for further editing, like adding costs and rates for these components, and then quantify. So now let's transfer the coding into our plan. Go to the plan, and then here what I'm going to do, I'm going to select these components using a criteria for selection. I'm going to use find and select. If you hit Control and F in your keyboard, this window will pop out. I already have a criteria before, but what I would do, I would delete, just remove this. So what I want to select all the lamps and then place the coding in this plane. So what I would do, the element type is the lamp, which is fine, and then I can hit select elements, and then all lighting fixtures will be selected in this floor plan or in this view. And then what you can do now is to go to documents, and then under annotation you can label selected elements once. Click on it, and then it will place the label. As you can see, you can edit this label to suit whatever standards you want. What I would do to select all this label, there's this trick that I like using. You can also use the find and select, but I like to use also this trick here, undo and redo. It will select newly created components in the view. So, and then I can go to settings, and then make sure I change the shape to none. I don't want to show a shape there. And then what I would do again is to change the distance of the marker to 0.
Say studio set.
Hey, sorry guys, I had a distraction here in the office, so I was tweaking the settings of the labeling to suit whatever standards we want. But as you can see here, we've changed the marker distance to 0, and then it sits on top of or above of this component. We don't want the information to be clashing. What we can do, maybe instead of changing to 0, we can do something like maybe 150, whatever distance that would take it off the object. Do maybe 250. think this is perfect. This is perfect. Yeah, and then also the most important thing is the color of text. Change it to suit. It doesn't change. It wants us to change from the settings dialog. If you go under pens, then change everything. I think it's fine. Oh, didn't change. Hey, let me just change everything. What is the problem with this? Let's check text settings. So check under text settings, and then what you can do, text style. I don't know why it refuses to change. No, I think it's the graphic override that we've used. Now I remembered. Graphic override. So we need to change the ruling of our graphic override so that it automatically change the text to red. If you are fine with the color of the text, it's also okay. You can leave it this way. So we didn't include in the ruling, we didn't include text. Or maybe let's change this text layer to something under lighting or electrical. Let's check lighting fixtures. Still doesn't do the thing. Okay. If you have a solution to this, you can go to the comment section and share with us. Or if you have any questions you want to ask, you can also go there. I will join in soon to answer all your comments. Okay, and then if we go back to the ground plane, also the layout. So now you have all components referenced with the legend. So everything you see here now is being referenced with how is it in the legend, of which I feel is a perfect combination. Like I said, whatever changes that we make in the design, it will automatically update. For example, if we I think we need to merge also this. No, the problem is we can't merge because of the spaces, the room, that they don't share the same room. But if we add another lighting in this room, it automatically changes or quantify this as 2. Let's do that so that you can see. So I'll change, I'll add another, right click and then move, drag a copy, place another lighting there, go back to the layout and then let it update. You see, now under launch there are 2 lighting fixtures of this type. Yeah, I didn't want this to be long, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to share, like this video, just to help us with the algorithm, like I said. Thank you once again. Bye.